Hello friends, and not yet friends. Today we're making Starbucks cream cheese pumpkin muffins better. No dairy, no eggs, just soft, rich vegan muffins made with nutritious pumpkin and delightful pumpkin spice, with a cheesecake-like creamy center baked right in, sprinkled with crumb topping and sugared pumpkin seeds. They are so awesome. And for my fellow Canadians who crave the Tim Hortons version with cream cheese frosting, I got you. Speaking of options, you can make these with regular flour or make a gluten-free version with oats. These are your pumpkin muffins and there are no rules. Everything comes together quickly, so first preheat your oven and get your muffin tray ready. I'm greasing the top surface with a little vegan butter so that if and when batter spills on top, it won't stick. And popping in reusable silicone liners, which will make getting out the muffins super easy. Then set those aside. In a large mixing bowl, combine your dry ingredients. You could use regular all-purpose flour like I mentioned earlier, or blend some gluten-free oats in a blender or food processor to make your own gluten-free oat flour. My food processor makes the flour kinda rough. When I use my blender, the oat flour is finer. Both textures work okay though. Finer oat flour makes a muffin that looks more like the regular kind, while rougher oat flour gives a more rustic look. Be sure to check the printable recipe for all the exact amounts, and for best results, measure by weight if you can. Baking powder and baking soda will help our muffins rise and bake up nice and fluffy. And our spices will give the muffin that signature pumpkin spice flavor. I love this smell. Someone told me it was too early for pumpkin-y things, but the leaves are already turning color here and I just cannot fight that cozy fall spirit. I love autumn. The colors, the smells, the food. Thumbs up if you love fall too. In a separate bowl, combine the wet ingredients. That's pure pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling. Our recipe calls for a 14-ounce can, but I found that every can I used during testing had a little bit extra, so be sure to measure it out. You should have 1.5 cups plus 2 tablespoons, or 390 milliliters. I'm adding a couple teaspoons of apple cider vinegar to vanilla soy milk here, but you can actually dump in everything into the bowl at the same time. Then brown sugar and white granulated sugar. The two kinds of sugar together give the right amount of sweetness with a hint of molasses that goes perfectly with these spices. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then add a 1/4 cup of canola oil or your choice of a neutral flavored oil. Now, I know someone's going to ask if they can omit the oil and replace it with extra pumpkin or another oil alternative, and the answer is not if you want to achieve that perfect coffee shop muffin texture. But if you've been living the oil-free life and are used to that oil-free texture, well, you do you. Now we can add the wet to the dry. Use a rubber or flexible silicone spatula to get every bit of it out. If you're using oat flour, mix to your heart's content. If you're using regular flour, fold the mixture in gently. We just want to barely combine everything so there's no dry pockets or wet streaks, but once we're there, stop! No overmixing, otherwise the gluten in the flour will develop and make our muffins heavy or worse, gummy. Yuck! This is one place where the gluten-free version is actually easier to do. Leave that and let's make the filling and toppings. For the cheesecake-like Starbucks version, combine silken tofu with sugar, cornstarch, a bit of oil, which will add richness, lemon juice, and vanilla extract, and blend it until it's super duper smooth. I like using an immersion blender for this. I think it does the best job. For the Timmy's cream cheese frosting version, combine 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, 2 tablespoons of vegan cream cheese, and vanilla extract, and icing sugar. This is basically the same frosting I use for my Ooey Gooey cinnamon rolls, so it's a little on the runny side. To make it stiffer, you could add a bit more icing sugar, but I'm not, just plopping the frosting into a piping bag for later. For the crumb topping, you'll mix sugar, regular or oat flour, and vegan butter with a fork until it gets all crumbly. You can do a brown sugar or white sugar crumb. It's up to you. The pumpkin seeds, just get a spritz of oil and some icing sugar. The oil helps the sugar stick in place. Now we're ready to get everything together. Without mixing the batter, scoop some with a spoon and into your waiting muffin tray. Fill the cups all the way to the top. You can even overfill them, but it can get messy while adding the filling, so you might want to play it safe, especially if you're going to do the Starbucks version rather than the Timmy's version. When those are full, we'll need to make some space for the filling. Skip this, of course, if you're making the Timmy's frosting version, since the frosting goes in after baking. I've tried using a little spoon for this, scooping out a little from the middle, or just using a couple of clean wet fingers to make a hole. Both ways are a little clumsy feeling, but either way works. Then scoop some of that creamed silken tofu filling and drop it in. Be careful not to overfill them. You'll probably have some filling left over, by the way. Then sprinkle the crumb on top. And add the sugared pumpkin seeds. Press them in gently so they stick real good. Then pop the tray into your hot oven for 8 minutes. The extra heat in the beginning helps them rise higher and helps with browning the crumb and crisping the pumpkin seeds. Afterwards, lower the temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius and continue baking for 20 more minutes. Once you get them out of the oven, let them rest for 5 minutes before popping the muffins out and on to a cooling rack. You could eat these right away, steaming hot and soft and delicious, but they are fine the next day, especially if you heat them up for a few seconds in the microwave. And anything I can't eat in one day, I stick in the freezer. That way, I can have a pumpkin spice treat anytime I want one. If you're making the Tim Hortons style pumpkin spice muffins, let the muffins cool completely. I know, they will smell so good, so it's tough to wait, but patience. When they're cool, make some space in the center of the muffin. You could use a little knife to get some of that center out so there's more space for frosting. Or just stick it with a chopstick and wiggle a bit. Then pipe in that vegan cream cheese frosting. Two kinds of filling, both delicious. And the oat flour version is actually just as good. Yes, it tastes oaty, but that's awesome with these spices. I haven't been successful with gluten-free baking in the past, but this one is an absolute winner. I can't say if I have a favorite though. Can you? Speaking of favorites, what kind of fall treats are you looking forward to this season? Sweet or savory? Pumpkin or no pumpkin? Tell me the flavors you love. I really want to know. Thanks so much for watching this video, friends. I hope you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did and share it with your pumpkin spice loving friends on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, or wherever you hang out online. It would really help me out if you did. like you guys did with my Boston Cream Donuts video. I'm so happy you guys loved it and spread that love. So encouraging and makes me want to veganize even more delicious treats. Anyways, don't forget to tag me in your Insta photos too. And again, thanks for watching. Bye for now.